How do you build a newly single father in The Sims 4? Well, sit back and let me show you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today for a CAS build. This is for a new Sims 4 story. You all voted, and here we are with our newly single father, or he will be, Sebastion Wynn. So I'm starting off with the first randomized sim I got. It looked really nice. So I'm going to modify quite a bit of his facial features. I'm going to modify everything from his cheeks to his jaws to his chin, his eyes, his skin tone, everything. But I'm building him and I have some very specific things in mind. So let's talk about it. The title of this new Let's Play story will be Mending His Heart, because Sebastion never thought he'd be a single father. Let's talk about his background. As a young man fresh out of high school, he actually enrolled and enlisted in the military. But after his contract ended, his very first contract, he immediately left that alone. It was not the life for him. It just wasn't a good fit, but it did afford him the opportunity to be able to leave his hometown and to have a good foot to start on. So once he finished that, he had a really deep work ethic. So he actually got in a salary person career and was offered a minor promotion in Mount Kamarebi. Sebastion had initially been from Oasis Springs, where there weren't a lot of opportunities, so he packed his things and immediately moved to Mount Kamarebi so that he could join that career and move up the ladder. Now, he worked long hours for what seemed like little reward until he met what would become his future wife, Mai. Mai was very funny, but very traditional, very proper, and in that some parts of them weren't a good fit, but overall, Sebastion was happy. So that's what mattered. He married Mai immediately, and not long after, they welcomed their first child, Vandy, who you will meet soon. Sebastion had aspirations, and it was on the fortune track. He has always wanted to make lots of simoleons so he could live comfortably. He grew up very impoverished in Oasis Springs, and therefore he had a drive to always want to be secure and want to make more so that he doesn't have to be broke again, doesn't have to struggle again, especially with the family. That said, even though he has long hours, even though he wants lots of simoleons, he is also very family oriented. Now, when you have long work hours, of course, there are times he missed things that he wish he hadn't. But when he's home, he's very, very present with both Mai and his daughter Vandy. So he's a pretty complex character. Now, doing all these long hours of work, how does he decompress? Well, he loves music. He's actually really good at playing the piano and the guitar, and he's not a bad singer either. So he's pretty complex, and he really can appreciate these things. His time in the military, there were things he got to do and places he got to see, but also things that he felt like he missed. So he's really enjoying this time with his family, and he's also moved up enough in his career where he is on a supervisory end. He's actually an expert. And also, forgive me, I do not edit my voiceovers when I do cast voiceovers and build voiceovers, so please forgive my stumbling and my slow southern United States drawl. However, back to Sebastion Wynn. Sebastion has moved up to an expert, so he actually gets called in for consultations on any and all problems. Now, this can be bad to him because he gets lots of calls to troubleshoot a lot of different kinds of issues. However, he is on shorter work days. For the longest, he was working 12-hour days, but now he is down to 9. So he's grateful for that. Now his off days are on Sunday and Tuesday, so he does miss things on the weekend with his daughter and his wife, but he has the Sundays with them, and that's been an essential bonding time for them. you can see as I pick his outfits that we have some things that are kind of more proper. And he does live in Mount Rebbe. His wife is very traditional, very proper. So he does dress it to the nines occasionally or when he can. But sometimes he occasionally likes to dress down as well, but not too far down or Ma will be upset. But where we are now is he has recently lost his wife. And so he is in a sort of existential crisis because he needs to rethink everything, how he parents, how he works, what he does and who he is. Even where he lives, he doesn't think that he wants to live there anymore. It's not a place where he ever thought he'd live long term. But when he met Mai, she was from Mount Kamarebi. And so he decided if that was her home, that was his home. And that was where his family would be. But now is painful memories there, and his daughter is struggling. So he's thinking maybe they need a fresh start somewhere, but where that would be, he doesn't know. But what you will see is his story. You're going to see exactly what happened to Mai. I won't get into it here, but needless to say, Sebastion and his daughter Vandy are both really heartbroken, thus the title Mending His Heart. Now, you will also start off, I can tell you now, we're going to start at Mai's funeral. And Sebastion has been thinking, and he's thinking that he's got a lot of things to plan because everything has changed in an instant for them. And now he doesn't know what to do. And he feels like, as a man, and especially now as a single father, if he doesn't have the answers, who's going to have them? So, the very first thing he's going to do, and you will see in episode 1, he's going to take his daughter on a vacation. But this vacation is no real vacation, it is an escape, an actual escape where they can sit down and grieve together, hopefully, where he can be there for his daughter while also trying to figure out how to heal his own mind and heart, but also where he will plan out where they're going to go, what they're going to do, who they're going to be, because a lot of things about Sebastion were ingrained in his relationship with his wife, with his daughter, with Malcolm Arabi, and it's just that he didn't really think about who he is as a person. The things about him that he knew, he poured into his job as a salary person because it took up a lot of his hours, and his family is the rest. But now, as his wife has passed, he's realizing, like, oh my gosh, you can be married, you can have kids, and you still need your own identity, your own sense of self. And maybe that's a real life lesson in The Sims 4. However, that's what Sebastion's gonna do, and I can tell you now that's gonna be episode 1. But he does have a small community. Malcolm Arabi is a community in his own, and actually, as soon as Mai passed away, a bunch of people showed up, and they're actually staying at the house with them because they want to make sure that they're in good mental health and good shape, and that they're not alone. So I think there's 4 people that just showed up with suitcases ready to roll. They have food, they are just there all the time. And truly, Sebastion is appreciative of that, but it's also driving him crazy because it's too many people in their little 2-bedroom home, and he doesn't know what to do with it. So that's understandable, but he just needs to get away, and that's going to be the plan. But he has a best friend who you will meet. They have known each other since Oasis Springs. They grew up in Oasis Springs together. His friend doesn't live in Mount Kamarebi, but they talk frequently, and they make sure that they see each other a couple times a year. And so maybe he should move closer to where his friend is. He doesn't know yet. But they also have people they can talk to, but Sebastion does keep his circle small. So outside of this friend, he only really is close to 1 or 2 other people, but his daughter is the next person in his circle, and here you're gonna meet her. Now I'm randomizing in actuality to get a child with their DNA so that we can get somebody who I really think fits. Because, of course, with it being a single father with one child, you're going to really get to see Vandy. This is Vandy Wynn, and she is a little different from her mother. Her mother was so traditional that, she might put on some pink lipstick, some pale pink lipstick, because that's what she felt like a woman should do, but she wasn't gonna paint nails or do things that she considered frivolous, because that's what it is. Now, her mother did work outside of the home, and she had lost her job. She had been fired, and she was not taking that well, but we'll get into that later. Now, Vandy likes to go play, like she's very active, but she's prissy. She's what I would call a prissy tomboy. But she likes everything wild, everything where she can be out running and playing, but she wants to do it in a skirt. And that drives her dad up the wall, because he's like, please put on some pants. He just doesn't want to show her little booty to the little boys at the school. But she enjoys it in Mount Comarebi because it's the only place she knows. But she does often talk to her father about places he's seen and places that he's traveled to, and she really wished that they could do that more, but they don't travel much because her dad works a lot, and she loves him and he loves her, but there's not time for travel. And her mom seems content to be at home, to not go anywhere outside of Mount Comarebi. Of course, while they were there, her mom was a cross stitcher, and she taught her cross stitch. So she's, I think, maybe a level 3 or 4 at cross stitch. She does really well, actually. She also likes to take pictures. It's been a thing. She takes pictures everywhere. They would go for walks on Sundays in the parks of Mount Comarebi, and she would take pictures of the flowers and the birds, anything that she saw out there. She could have swore she saw a spirit or two once, and that's something that she has thought about since her mom has passed away. She's also been thinking about her relationship with her mom. Her mom was very strict, because everything was, this is tradition, this is how you should be doing it, and this is the tradition, that's the tradition. That's the word she heard the most from her mom, and it was, times their relationship was tense. However, her dad pretty much made up for it by letting her do and have freedom with things that she wouldn't have with her mother. He let her go out to play with her friends. He let her run wild, even though he fussed at her about being out and on the monkey bars in a skirt. But he let her go do that when her mom would not have. But now she's wondering, without her mother there to be strict, she loves her dad, but he's not around much. So where does that leave her? Who is going to be with her in the evenings when her dad works late? Who is going to sit and cross stitch with her? She doesn't know, and that makes her very, very sad. But she supposes that they will have to figure things out. But as a kid, she doesn't know what she's supposed to do. She's feeling very sad. Everybody's come over from the community, and she doesn't know what she's supposed to do with those people there. She really wishes that everyone will leave so she could be by herself. Her dad mentioned to her that they will have to talk, but she doesn't know what that talk will be about. So I really hope that you've enjoyed meeting Sebastion and Vandy Wynn, and I hope that you tune in for their Let's Play story, because it is definitely going to be a journey, hopefully a journey of love. So I hope you enjoyed this CAS build. And until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye-bye.